Memmy Mem.
Esteemed one, Orynyx's vacant totem awaits. If you have already made your preparations to become a pillar of Amphorius, please, step forward.
Little Grey and Mem, your resolves cannot be questioned. We praise your purity. Get ready to assume... The divine position of Orynyx has already been vacant for... We can feel the space of the trial closing. As there isn't much of their soul left, we'll have to complete the ceremony before their soul... The eighth core flame coveted by the miracle. That once it shall now be returned by the two elected heroes of the Chrysosairs. A traveler who is upright and courageous. Mem. Both of you, please. Recite along with us. O Majesty of the 12 Titans, pillars of the world, we seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world. Fill our bodies with blood of gold, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy. These are just words meant to make the prayer seem more solemn. Please, focus. And surrender. Orynyx. Their soul has been waiting.
Perhaps they're also quietly waiting for the arrival of their successor. The last time I heard this, things didn't turn...
Don't worry, Aglaya. He's tougher than I am, right?
beyond the sky. Let us pray that the Titan acknowledges your worthiness.
Although he loves cracking jokes at inopportune times, his determination is as strong as the Chrysos heirs. While he's away, I would like to have a chat with you, Aglaya.
Speak.
Slap, slap! Wake up! How is it? How do you feel? That's right! Look, look! I have such a cute voice! It must be because of all the memories that I collected. They allowed me to grow beyond expectations. Also, listen. The words of the Titan are becoming clearer.
Mother. It hurts. Have I finally reached the end? Are the years of isolation coming to an end?
Onyx. Oh, how heartbreaking. Ever since the figure draped in the black cloak robbed them of their core flame, they have been relegated to waiting in isolation in such a confined space. We are going to help alleviate their pain, right?
Memories broken. Mother, where? You. It's you. I remember you. Skyfather has gazed upon you. Mother is calling for you. Skyfather has chosen you. Something important. An important matter.
Onyx, Listen to me. Aren't you tired? Throughout the long years, you have always been protecting the fate of Amphorius. Each time people draw strength from within their memories, every single ripple falls onto your shoulders. There's no need for you to bear this any longer, Orynyx. From today onwards, someone else will bear time on your behalf. This is why we have come.
Freedom. Freedom. I want freedom.
Oh, poor child. Everything will be fine. Let us help you. You can have a good rest.
You have potential, willpower, powerful, and but just
Lacking some.
is a future.
Future?
Traveler from the sky. You should have dissipated already. The gaze from Skyfather. Stabilize your form. Because from the moment you crossed the sky, your life was cast away. Right now, you are simply a collection of walking memories.
What? How is that possible?
The space. Someone must. If the pillar is lost, Amphorius. Time. Never forget, child of your time.
Orynyx is
Pathstrider of remembrance. The fate of go and fly. Even if you'll have to challenge that. Hand of shadow, clasped with unyielding fingers.
I heard you two talking about Thanatos. She has left the vortex and returned to the garden. Shall we... Oh, right. There's something that I have to tell you. The Chrysosaurs already know everything that has happened to you. I was too worried, so I told them everything. Please don't hate me, okay?
Mister, I'm right here. Please stay there and slowly turn around. Please pardon me. Just as I expected. I cannot feel anything. Back at the Grove, I was puzzled as to why you were not affected by my curse. I thought that it might have been the special ability of a traveler from beyond the sky. Never did I expect that this would be the true reason. I'm sorry. I should have noticed that something was amiss earlier. Mister, if my abrupt behavior just now offended you, I hope that you can forgive me. I'm just thinking, if your soul has really left your body, as a mortician, I might be able to trace where it has gone to.
Cass! Did you find anything?
My apologies. Not as of yet. Perhaps I have overestimated my capabilities. But, Mister, would you be willing to let me try again? This time,
I'll increase the area of contact slightly. Perhaps the result might be different this time. I have never touched the living in this way before. If my actions are in any way disrespectful, I hope that you can forgive me. Yes. I seem to have caught a glimpse of something. Your soul is currently roaming someplace and cannot find a way to escape. But perhaps it might not be a bad thing. If your soul is still wandering around, it means that we still have time. We have a chance to find it before the fingers of Thanatos sweep everything away. Clues. Just a few more. I need more guidance. The connection has been severed. With my strength, I'm not able to trace it. It was me. I was a little too hasty. Don't worry, mister. Although we currently have no leads, I will do my... I know that I'm lacking in confidence. Amphorius needs you. Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the paths. They're worried about... Also, please accept this Styxian fable. Read...
More and more species are disappearing. They're here.
That partner! Hyacinth said you definitely wake up. How do you feel?
I beg you, please forgive me.
You've completed the trial of time, and I have to admit that the process went better than I expected. Even in the end, that Titan's heart still showed a soft spot for humankind. However, I never expected that. Two people who have cheated death would appear in Akima at the same time.
That's what we have been talking about. Mighty has been in Akima for such a long time, but has no one thought to study his indestructible body? If there were even any minor breakthroughs, we wouldn't be as clueless as we are right now.
Many have had this idea, but so far, there have been no results. If it were successful, Thanatos wouldn't have disappeared without a trace. Nevertheless, now is not the time for us to give up. At the very least, we can still see a glimmer of hope. Cypher. If anyone in this world knows the whereabouts of death, it would be her. I'll try and get her to return to Akima, but do be prepared for a less than ideal outcome. Please understand that throughout the history of Amphorius, no one has ever managed to escape the clutches of death. At the end of time, Thanatos silently awaits all. It is my duty. We too require you to bear the divine position of time. But before that, just...
What's wrong, Aglaya?
Omens always come in pairs. It's Anaxagoras.
In the end.
I earnestly hope that otherwise, the efforts of my...
here again. I remember this dream. This realm is covered in a silk-like fog, and the land is barren and harsh. The crowd of travelers leaves tracks everywhere.
Hey! Excuse me! What is this place? Where in Anforius are we?
The mutters of the traveler are in a language I'm unable to comprehend. Or perhaps they're just distracted and ignored my question.
Tell me, which Titan reigns over?
Hand of Shadow
Not
Then where is this? River of Souls?
the Netherrealm Titan. Listen.
What? The traveler lifts their wrinkled... I look in the direction they are pointing and listen closely. There. A massive shadow brought the sound of rushing tides. The sound of tides. I can hear it. I hear it, deep within the tides, beyond the closed gates of the Void World. A voice, about to recount something.
Child of humanity. Is it death's embrace you yearn for with such urgency? Oh, you have awoken. Welcome back to the mortal realm. Your consciousness is dissipating much faster than I expected. Ultimately, it seems like the Titan's core flame is incompatible with a mortal body.
How much longer can my consciousness remain in the mortal realm?
In my estimation, at best, you'll see 15 more entry hours.
15 days and nights.
What is it? Are you finally starting to become attached to the mortal world now?
On the contrary, 15 days feels a little too long. Stop giggling. It's time.
Let me ask you one more question.
What betrayal is there to speak of when I was...
What about that white-haired student of yours?
There will be a price to pay for blind faith.
You truly are a strict teacher.
Of course. This is how I've always been.
Sorry to keep you waiting. It's been a while, Lord Anaxagoras. I greet you on behalf of all the citizens of Akima, and express my deepest regret about what happened at the Grove of Epiphany.
It's you. I never expected that you would personally come and meet me.
By carefully into Lantern above, I have come as a testament to the justice of the Council of Elders.
There are Anti-Catherans here? They have been a rare sight ever since the Chrysos War.
I extend to you my utmost respect, revered Titan. I am Lycurgus, though you may call me Lygus, holding an honorary position within the Council of Elders in Akima, and as the Theoros, I stand to protect the right of all upright citizens to express themselves freely.
You can see them too?
You know about us. We Antikytherians perceive the world through the amplitude and frequency of souls. Just as I am conscious that Lady Aglaya is secretly listening in on our private meeting from afar, if necessary, Lord Anaxagoras, I can sever the golden thread to protect your fundamental rights.
The demigod should know better, for such is her station. Spare those poor threats, and just let her listen to my words. They shall serve only to unveil her own folly.
May I interpret this as you having a countermeasure?
I need not any plan, because she can do nothing other than petty espionage. As the Citizens' Assembly approaches, and with Orynyx's fall, any attempt to capture the core flame within me will only usher chaos and calamity. A truth she undoubtedly comprehends. While I, Anaxagoras, serving as the Grove's special envoy to Akima's Citizens' Assembly, have long known the extent of your abilities. Let's forego the formality of asserting authority, Lord Lygus. Lead the way.
Very well. Surely Lady Kindness would appreciate such assertiveness in an ally. She's been waiting. Follow me, please. Is there something on your mind, Lord Anaxagoras?
Nothing, really. It's just a question that I contemplate every time before I ascend to Dawncloud. For the Titans, does the falling equate to death?
Ah, a pondering truly deep. Time is on our side. Do you mind sharing your reflections with me?
While all living beings must ultimately face their demise, Kefali has yet to meet theirs. Their journey continues unhurriedly along this long path.
Are you suggesting that Kefali may not have truly passed?
Yes. For dying implies an ongoing process, an action, whereas death signifies a static state, a definitive termination. In contrast to mortals, Titans exist on a grander scale of space and time, thus elongating their passage into death. The notion of their fall is but a misinterpretation born of mortal ignorance.
Ah, an intriguing concept, albeit challenging to substantiate. After all,
Perhaps the gods in their arrogance,
could you...
Circes, the kin of the Sky Father as recounted in myths, now resides within my brain. Were I to inquire, Kefali...
Oh.
That very well could be true.
In that case, the myths...
It's worth a try, because I completely concur with you on this. Please, Professor.
children of humanity have indeed created a spectacle.
Welcome to Dawn Cloud. The atmosphere here carries a greater sense of solemnity than the mundane clamor of the Marmorial Palace, with entry permitted only to the invited. Only esteemed beings grace this place, and among them, I've received priests, scholars, warriors, and now we even have the honor to be in the presence of a Titan. Oh, what a joyous occasion.
Once deemed a blasphemer, now a surrogate for revered divinity.
I'll notify Kindness and the others of your arrival. In the meanwhile...
I'm well aware of
Alas, I had hoped for a brilliant plan.
Save your concerns. I know very...
Now that I look around, I wonder if there are any murals bearing my...
Off you go. This Titan appears to be quite at ease. I should...
Be aware. I can hear...
Give it some sunshine and the color will get even prettier. Professor Anaxa! Over here! Professor Anaxa?
You could say...
It's only the Crimnoans and I... So, are you here to report the...
Tell me, how...
Once Kindness and her followers learned of Cersei's and Oryx's fall... Yet, when the Crown Prince is in it...
No surprises there.
I was really curious to see, but it seems as though this Kindness is much more ruthless than Aglaya.
I'm afraid...
Didn't think I could find that, did you?
even blasphemous Scot. An exaggeration.
As Kefali's priest, are you not aware?
Surely you jest. You Let me remind you that you're currently in Dawncloud, so you'd better keep your deranged language to yourself. I am no...
I'm not sure whether I should laugh or cry right now. I can't believe that a follower such as you could have been made by a creation titan. As I see it, a dead titan can't provide you with this level of confidence, right? Then who is it exactly? Could it be kindness?
You. Seeing how fond of you Elder Kindness is, I shall let that slide for now.
Seeing as we were able to hear of this matter from the mouths of others, it seemed...
Oh my, what a thrilling confrontation.
Are you praising...
Praising him, of course, as a believer of the god of...
Didn't you hear me? I asked you to leave.
I've had enough of this. Could the 15th entry hour arrive any faster?
Could there be another solution?
Finally! There's strength in numbers!
Oh, my.
Every plant, every tendril, no, even every leaf could...
As a result, mere mortals who did not know what the Titan actually looked like chose to paint them as a giant
This mural is quite...
I really can't tell whether you are praising or demeaning yourself.
Of course, for all we know, this could be...
I, for one, am not willing to admit that I could look...
Was this the reason why you...
Since you are aware of it.
From my perspective, this point alone was enough to separate... Therefore, it seems that your journey to Dawncloud this... What, then, is the intention?
The entire plan is stored in my memory.
Then... 1-year-old. Oh my. Even a member of the preeminent 7 sages must hug his...
That's enough.
How unusual. Your soul is actually...
This is a present that my sister gave to me.
So there are other members in your family?
Don't you just love to pick through my brain? It won't take long. You'll discover the...
Oh, the Black...
When I was young, I couldn't accept this outcome either. Georios, Aquila, Kefali.
This...
Indeed it was. Everything started from that verdant courtyard of yours.
Oh, I remember that.
Not only that, he also believed that since all living things stemmed from the same origin, why could I...
Anaxa? But this is absolute blasphemy. Regardless of how much freedom the Grove provides, such an act could cause you to be burned at the pyre. Your beloved, where is she now? Send her away from the grove at once, to a place where nobody will ever be able to find her. Otherwise, the
Calm down, teacher. She's still not in the mortal realm. It was naive of me to think that I could snatch the deceased from equivalent exchange. All I...
Let it go, Anaxa. I'd never do something taboo ever again. Don't disappoint the deceased.
You're right, teacher.
I am sincerely glad for...
I...
Continue the research into souls, but you know that the Grove has long...
No, teacher. After my fleeting glimpse of the deathly fog, I find I may have lost an eye, but I have grasped the truth with my bare hands.
Who would have thought such a secret... However, this story doesn't...
The answer lies within the tale. If even my story ends here. Now it's time.
Unfortunately,
Oh? Are you saying that the renowned...
child of humanity.
Now I understand.
Not only that, you're the only...
Lord Anaxa. I saw you muttering to yourself. I have a message from Lord...
Carefully.
I didn't expect you to agree to Lady Kindness's invitation. What a wonderful turn of events. To tell you the truth, there are many people who hold grudges against that Lady Goldweaver.
Isn't that the dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemy.
One, two...
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Lord Anaxagoras, I've heard so much. Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir. Did I miss anything?
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a and yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and—
Everyone, stand.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are
So?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors— As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. And since you, as a Chrysos heir,
What brazen arrogance. What you're—
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for— But now that you're an ally of ours, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters. Just like how there are two types of people in this world. Geniuses and dimwits.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Erechrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise.
Using death to
What strong conviction you have.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accept—
Well, you say that now, but surely you also—
You worry too much. She won't show her hand.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of—
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which you're well aware how valuable Circe's core flame. Talk is cheap.
I understand. Let us decide how much we can secure for us. Continuing from the earlier top, she is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite— Is there anyone present who can—
I believe you're aware of Castorice the Executioner. Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaya has compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results.
At the very least, the both of us agree that this— However, tell me, what are you—
Aglaya's authoritarianism. What's more,
in the name of Kefali, at this stage, the Council of Elders has—
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed as the Theoros. I have—
Oh.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the
So you were holding back just now. So tell me, Anaxagoras. Now that you're—
You can do as she says. Tell her that However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus. No. More like 2 corps. At the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is
Oh?
Is that of importance to you? If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire— Is this the outcome that you would—
Fine. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people, unless, of course, you—
Well, what—
We shall—
Ah, I've got to say that you've managed—
Dying to know what I
mean, I'm the reason Titan after—
Easy there. I didn't bring it up with her, purely because she doesn't have— The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the thief.
An expected visitor. Welcome. You know, you could actually skip all. I have no reason to refuse.
You may not, but Kindness has. She's wary of me, so naturally.
In my view, this... Are you still willing to—
Yes, very much so. Please, go. Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where carefully Watts answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond.
Go on ahead.
I have to admit.
Because I know very well what it is. I believe carefully will not deprive you of your right to ask your question. It is my hope that you bring a much...
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Honestly, this is my...
What a splendid...
And even though I've come this...
I must be getting...
Oh? Haven't you been... All right, we're just a...
So the intellectual debate...
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight.
What?
Fine then.
Wait. Hey.
Huh?
Do we...
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you?
Ah, yes.
Huh. It's the Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my Khalid.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios. From their prized ores and molten fire.
Hey, Circes. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not the...
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no...
This is a departed spirit?
enough about me. Did Kaos ever
What?
Seems like...
Kaos. I've never heard of this person. Look on the bright side, Nias. Hey!
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but...
Kaos?
Never mind. The souls.
What?
Beats me. Let's just keep going.
Know your limits. Wander to...
I'm fine. If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing.
One, two... not enough for us to share.
So...
Of course. If I knew...
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world that...
Keep your sarcasm. I would sooner throw my... I am Calypso of the Eminent Seven Sages, after all.
Calypso... She's one... No, she can't be. Hey, Cersei's. Dagon... Doesn't matter. I can do this myself. Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land...
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods.
This one's for Trivy, this one's for Trian, and this one's for Treenan.
We're here. Finally. So... I don't get to ask the Titan my question. But all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth for myself. to make it in time. Huh? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
Yes, I have faith in him.
That reminds me, why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Cersei's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Cersei's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not, because another one of my conjectures, fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan.
What are you... Is that so? Events of the past, huh? I stood at this very... Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Cersei's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves. But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. It's just... I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there
Yeah, there's no rest. In any case, what we're looking for could be any. Have you forgotten that you're talking to the
I choose you. You just don't learn.
Guiding the west wind, away we go!
Root here. Embrace a new life.
We can do anything!
Toward tomorrow, onward! Yeah! Vital leap forward!
Really now? Or you could. I'm kidding, Danny.
Have some sunshine! Dispel the gloom! Restore the skies!
We can do it!
Embrace a new life. Return to dust.
The black. Anyway, never mind that for now. This is new. I didn't. Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to. Yet, it is also this. Oh? Let me have a look. By the looks of the... Sure, go ahead. The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship the Titans the most. As the sage of the Venerationists, if we were to place the 7 Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini Trevi cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy, and so everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemy. Anaxa often says that, perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries... It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me. That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here. Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew. You've got me there. There are too many books in the library. Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect. Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think God should be? They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could fit. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the first allegation was... Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, needless to say, his critics... You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact... Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when every being in the world owes theirs. Thankfully, they had no way to... One by one, Anaxa... It was only after a brief silence that he... Yes, I'm not... By the way, this stack of complaint letter, I'm talking about Anaxa. It's a well-kept secret. Even the administrators up at the Grove in this state... This is the place, but materials for alchemical experiments? No, not even close. Not only are Huh? That? What's going on? It wouldn't have been so strange if, now, it seems Danny? My biggest fear. It's Anaxa was carrying out experiments on. Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his... Oh, do you remember when the black tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send... That's right. But what if, Professor... Put yourself in his shoes, knowing that the black tide was... Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came... The manuscripts detailing all the... Like, what? There's... No. He's after Kefali.
Sir, this sky above us...
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection of... The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students, much like how the sky above the holy...
So...
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. Often people know more than they let on.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People, we have already realized that...
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night.
Why? Because we'll...
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to... But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time...
You're right. Go. Find out what we are. Become the one...
Child of humanity. You didn't go to such lengths for an audience.
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness.
Before such power.
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they call me a blasphemer, Circes. As I see it.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you...
Why stop at harnessing? The source of life is what I wish to grasp. To understand. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, how then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it...
No. I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer.
Professor Anaxa. I'm here. His life...
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end. However, in accordance with the principle...
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the...
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan. This may be the only time I can...
I see.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you...
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my...
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all.
Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember. Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world, so who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
I have news from Hyacinth and Dunhung. Anaxa might...
Kefali? But...
That is not... He is indeed the great performer. No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found what we should be doing now is to keep our eyes being Akima's political center. The Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Till then...
Preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because...
It's been a while. What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person...
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crateros.
Shh! Keep it down. Be more vigilant.
I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still...
My bad.
Did you hear thunderclaps? Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a mess...
Watch out. I guessed as much.
I figured this is something you would want to know.
You have my gratitude.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. Those lackeys she keeps undercover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these...
That's... We should get...
By Catherly into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed.
Aglaya! What?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads.
What do you...
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But...
Yes, this is my...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. There is no glory in winning this debate. But that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been... We didn't have a choice in the past, but now... The Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova? Or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an...
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me.
Let the 3 Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those... Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you...
Aren't they Chrysos heirs?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every...
Castorice? Why are you
You finally...
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know...
Tell me, dear, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame...
The answer is simple. We will have...
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic.
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen...
Oh? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessing...
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of...
Yes!
This is bad.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you...
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about... For Castorice, Idonia's...
With that, thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of...
With the balance shattered, the result is Akama has chosen her destiny.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the flame chased... Well, it's...
My apologies, everyone. In actuality...
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier.
Anaxa?
Yes, I am...
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones. Devastated, the queen wept for several days. It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process... The princess was reborn! The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon worse still, the souls of the deceased were refused entry to the Netherrealm because the terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter...
Until?
Until? Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh, my... It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've...
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue...
Therefore, we can...
A fable, you said?
I guess it might be the...
Oh? I thought... What?
No. I merely realized that we're both...
Indeed. That...
You flatter.
Of course.
If I imparted, would you use it?
What? What kind of strange...
Oh?
Death is inevitable. If such a mighty power, after all... My time is by.
You shall wither, and through that, it is a pity that...
Is there no other way of interpreting?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. How absurd. My time, what should we do?
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to...
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, but these three people must not have left their name.
Amphorius's history before the Titans were born was complete. I have long held three hypotheses.
Calypso and this warrior.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you...
Of course. Though...
Looks like you have...
Yes, this...
Completely separating courage.
Please, young lady. Witness...
I do not understand. Why?
Because this is our destiny. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily, since there's still time.
Of course. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life... That means...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. If so, the chosen one of...
Polixia... is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that... Nikador's...
I've heard that...
Honor.
And finally...
Cheer up, young lady.
All farewells.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many...
Although only a sliver of your soul remains. You remain...
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one. I am just enjoying what remains.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that... And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back...
But when you depart the mortal realm, separation and death are two
Finally, let me... The first time I returned from the battlefield, the calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held... It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeled. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders.
To someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living afford the same amount of bliss. Now please, go away and don't
Are you trying to say that there is...
That's exactly what life is. and death is but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glory. Therefore, young lady, don't...
The embodiment of strife telling me...
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment, it is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table when that moment finally comes.
I knew this day would have...
Are the both of...
Polixia. I'm here. What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Polixia's sister? Is it... me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me. What exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesied new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the Ocean God's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the Netherrealm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
Huh. What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new Titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town, the birthplace of alchemy and the tale of the dragon? In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
The new Sporist masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sages' wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember, I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castorice. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, his life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaia, please, Let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mr. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls Torrents, it's not hard to see its former splendor. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Castorice and meet the god of death himself. Castorice, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aklaya.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls Torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Trebe is probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Netherrealm as they pleased. And if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Marmorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
here. Embrace a new life. Darkness with me.
Have some sunshine.
May death protect us!
We can do anything!
Have some sunshine. Dispel the gloom. Restore the skies.
I choose you!
As you wish. Wilt here. Embrace a new life.
Like the West Wind. Away we go! Tomato wind.
May death protect us!
We can do anything!
Like the West Wind. Away we go! Have some sunshine.
As you wish.
Tomato wind. Dispel the gloom. Restore the skies.
We can do it!
Wilt here.
Don't be rash.
As you wish. Embrace a new life.
Like the West Wind. Away we go! Have some sunshine.
May death protect us!
We can do anything!
Like the West Wind. Away we go! Tomato wind. Delivering warmth.
Wilt here.
Have some sunshine. Dispel the gloom. Restore the skies. Like the West Wind. Away we go!
I choose you!
As you wish.
Use news.
Wilt here. Embrace a new life.
Like the West Wind. Away we go! Tomato wind. Dispel the gloom. Restore the skies.
My lover, why does your mood change faster than the clouds above?
Oh, how I wish she has clear eyes that are quick to anger and laughter, and dimples that crease in smiles and frowns.
Lady Aglaya, I am Apollos' retainer, here for an outfit to take to my master.
The creation of love.
If you wish to embrace such fantasies, use the needle and thread as your sword.
I have always lived in isolation. Out of courtesy, this is how I practice my words and actions.
Those words are true. Though they won in fierce battle, the warriors were powerless to turn the tide. It was the embrace where death dwelled that gave early release from their pain.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body. It must be a power most secret, a means for one man to...
Create... If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble. For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation secrets. The truth...
Why?
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty. Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
Clementine, prepare some things of me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow. Long time no see, Hyacinth! Are you here in Akama for a visit, or do you need help from us? I want some shining things, even if they're considered junk. Little ones, thank you for your light.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
Did you win? Really? But the look on your face says otherwise. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. I still have only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as Ma'am. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Why are my eyelids so heavy all of a sudden? Oh, you're right. Cass? What a surprise.
Lady Treeby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of speech?
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled even as you smiled.
Lady Treeby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There is no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's. Because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you. Lady Treby. This feeling... It's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
Then go do it, Cass. Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow!
It's me.
I hope I didn't wake you. Huh? No. No. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something. Aren't you going to ask me what it is? It isn't a long way from here.
I'd love to go in and take a look. Have you heard?
Yeah!
All the rooms
Faith can dispel the black tide.
The streets are packed.
I want to vote! Tell me how I can vote!
Take your ceramic shard, engraved with the Kefali rune, select the Council of Elders in your heart, and pray silently until the shard registers your choice. Then toss it into the Dolium.
The Council of Elders? More like the Council of Buffoons! The Black Tide took my hometown long ago! Who are they kidding with bringing back Erechrysia? It's all a sham to create their own Erechrysia in Akama!
The Titans are just. So long as we do not overstep our bounds again, we will not incur divine wrath.
Oh, please. The time when these deranged Titans should have vacated their spot to—
And I pray that Talanton smacks some sense into you.
That was... To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Akama is the... This peaceful sight is making me forget that this... Before coming here, Yes, but back in those days, I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war cap. Is that how you see, no matter how kind or cruel the means, taking away someone's life? I can't do it. Their voices.
Ah, but you must respect those walking towards death.
What you're asking me to do, no matter the titles.
This won't be the first time that Edonia's fanatical nether warriors have faced death. Is the mightiest. Then let me in Idonia. The great swords commonly used by... The sword has 3 air holes, but should the executioner have any hesitation, every executioner after Dracon is to hone their sword skills. Every pain for the dying. As you I'm asking you to consider the source of the dead's suffering, and go walk with the dead.
Please!
No! May you gain some insight. No, this is just the begin.
You executioner!
Holy.
Do it then. I curse you.
Why?
Please.
When will this ever end?
You murderer!
Come.
What are you trying to...
I have the final rest.
You're not that old yet.
No. For I have come to fear. Castorice. Child. It was I've always known. Indeed. Yet you can end any sinful...
It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take...
I've taught you and cared for you as my own daughter, all in the eyes of an Idonian. Death, you can own. And when you do...
No!
Come now. Show me that you are a fitting... Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least...
Riding the west wind, away we go!
May death protect us! This was the last time I followed her. The executioner, who had seen too much death, died the same way as everyone else. Elder Amunet, the person who tried to teach me about death. I have nothing. I erected a cenotaph in her honor in the marshes. It was a long, long journey. It seems the most terrible darkness in this world. How did it disappear to Titan, and why do they haunt me? I continued my travels to seek I just want to know, can I make anything?
I don't want to die. Please, I'm begging you, just let me go. I don't want to die, please. I don't want mercy like this. Just let me go. I need it. I don't...
I hate these icy hands.
Reaper has blessed your hands. Only you can grant them peace. Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
Is that you, Castorice? All of them have gone, heeding death's summon, crossing into their domain. I must go too. I don't fear it, just I have some regrets. Watching people leave this world again and again, it must be lonely for you. You must want to desperately embrace them before they go.
I can't. These hands, they're too cold.
But Big Sister Castorice, your hands are so warm. Just like anyone else's. So go on. Don't hold back.
Give me a warm hug.
really be warm. On the day that Orynyx's trial ended, you must have had many questions. I felt just as confused. Why, as someone from beyond the sky, were you so cruelly dragged into Amphorius's fate? I wished I could take action, but no matter how hard I try, I cannot simply interact with the living as ordinary people do. Even when we brushed against each other unintentionally in the grove, and it was obvious that nothing had happened. When an almost unattainable hope finally welled up in my heart. When I thought that perhaps my touch would no longer bring sorrow, fate declared to me, it wasn't that the curse of death had finally been lifted, but that your soul no longer belonged to this world. And there was nothing left for my hands to take. Nothing. And did I really think this time would be any different? It's not that I don't understand this reality, just that I'm unwilling to accept it. Having walked such a long road, I am still unable to find the answer to life and death. I am resigned to eternal despair. Anything I wish to hold on to, death will inevitably wrest from my grasp. From that moment on, I lacked the courage to confirm it again. Until Orynyx laid bare the cruel truth before us. But now, perhaps I might have one last chance. Long ago, Trinan read a prophecy to me. At the end of the Sea of Flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation. I found no surprise in it, for her words sounded not like a foretelling, but a perfect reflection of my past. Embraces in this world are born of reunions, yet my touch speaks only of farewells. In that moment, I had no doubt that this destiny would weave itself through the entirety of my life. And yet, things have taken a turn for the better. Now that I can finally have an audience with Thanatos, perhaps I can rewrite the meaning of that fated prophecy. I have no reason not to give it my all. For your sake, and for my own. With that, I won't have any regrets. Let's put that aside for the moment. We've arrived. I want to retrieve a small gift I specially prepared for you. I made it myself, like the trinket I gave Lady Trian. I want to leave something for everyone, if possible. The journey to seek an audience with the Death Titan cannot be an easy one. I want to make full use of every moment I have before we depart, so that I don't have any regrets. No, it isn't. You'll know when you see it. Look, it's right there. Huh? Where did it go? What's going on? This is the coin of Zagreus. It's a Lady Cipher, the demigod of Zagreus whom Lady Aglaia had spoken. So many years have passed. Let's just do as the slate said. Look, it's right there. We must pursue her. Huh? This is a trick she left. She's incorrigible. This... Lady Cipher, please come on out.
You're still careless as ever.
Since you know it's a gift for someone else, please give it back to me. Stop hiding among the people and letting the wind carry—
Now, since I know it's a gift, that just means I need to milk its worth. The children of the wind never stay for long in one place. Unless your offer is tempting enough to still the wind. What say you?
Name your price. I'll give you however much you want. What's wrong?
No wonder they call you Princess Homebody. Why don't you two come over to my place? It'll make a better venue for proper business discussions. You can find where I live through the winds I've sown. Right.
Piece of cake. I can do that even if I can only sense your soul.
All right, I'll see you there. By the way, everyone cool with me collecting a deposit before?
She's incredible.